that's something I think of too. Like that again, one of those things that it's not like maybe because you're misinformed, it's just too hard to be able to teach and stuff. But you always learned like then the Industrial Revolution happened, and then World War II happened, and then in a different subject we will learn about here's theoretical physics because you're not going to talk about war during physics class.
You have to go to a whole different department, a whole different part of campus to learn about that.
Right, but they are so crazy. So when you think about all this insane shit going on, you're like, well, AI, and the reason I brought it up in this topic too is because again, just the way we do it. Like, okay, AI is one topic. And, a Holocaust that's currently happening is this topic, but it's like, I'm telling you right now.
And inequality is this topic.
And it's like, no, dude, they all mix into each other. So there's going to be stuff where you talk about people that become dissatisfied or misled to keep the machine inequality going. It's like AI is perfect for that. It's perfect because all of a sudden now, as far as inequality, it can take away so many jobs, and at the same time, it will bring you, weirdly, as much as I talk dire about AI, it also could be the impetus for a revolution because it could be this sense of like, okay, now that a lot of people actually don't have to do this stuff.
Yep.
But you know what that does, though? Same thing with existentialism. Now schools of thought are going to come out. Well, we still need to work because the human spirit, it is about us to work. It's like, no, it fucking doesn't. Like, what are you talking about? We need to embrace this thing. It's like now we have the opportunities to even consider doing these things.
Yep.
Like,
those are the contradictions that will emerge. If AI is what we think it's going to be, then we're going to have, as I often say, a situation where you could see a 40% unemployment and the world's first trillionaires at the first time. And there's going to be simultaneously repressive mechanism as the capitalist ruling class uses it to entrench their power structure, and new opportunities where humanity realizes more and more that if we collectivize and nationalize and democratize this technology, it could liberate us from toil. It could push us in the direction of post-scarcity for the first time in human history and really create a genuinely better world for everybody. But in order to get that future, we're going to have to wrestle this tech out of the fucking cold, dead hands of the power structure that wants to try to use it to stay in power. So these contradictions are going to explode, and they're going to cause chaos, and you could see a World War III occurring out of it.
Did you ever think one thing? I actually, this is one of the first sentiment that comes to mind is that in this weird way, I was like, I don't even know if World War III is really possible in the sense that we think about World War wars. Like, obviously, troops on the ground now seems kind of insane with what they have. Like, that's one thing they actually talked about in World War I, where these guys would still do the march. And they were so entrenched in the idea of, like, this is how you do warfare. We don't think about doing it another way. By the way, the spirit of our nation is built on this. As French, we are tough people, and it's built on doing it this way. We're not going, this is not a new tactic. This is the way we are. And then fucking the Gatling gun, just take, like, okay, let's rethink our national spirit. And so, but what I mean by that is that with what they have, with what technology is, because fucking crazy ass military just keeps building newer and newer things, but he's just been itching to use it, dude. It's like a guy who got a new AR and he's like, I'm just waiting for somebody to try to rob my store.
Absolutely.
And because we have not seen Unleashed what it can do. It does these things in these other countries and stuff, but do you imagine? I think Alex Garland did this one movie that was about Civil War. It came out a little bit, but Civil War to me in America, I don't even know what that could fucking possibly be because it's not going to be people in the streets like the Purge again or something. There's these people that have bombs. Like I always talk about, one of the craziest things was that bomb that went off in Nashville that like for miles took out the internet and electricity. It was something crazy. I think the Trump assassination happened just right after that. It was like, we need to talk about that. That this guy, luckily he had this intercom thing. It was like, get away. That's one of the craziest fucking things ever because a guy just made that. And when you talk about knocking out stuff, like that's one of the most, I guess, low key things that are truly genocidal. It's like, hey, we're not bombing hospitals. Maybe we are, but we're not bombing hospitals. We're not shooting people in the street. We're just bombing these water facilities. We're bombing this. We're bombing equipment. It's Absolutely. Like that. You're bombing infrastructure. That directly leads to killing families and people. It's nice to think about because it's like you don't see the carnage or whatever because you're not looking at people starving to death.
It's one step extracted from just killing the people.
And that's what happens if you talk about war. Like, but the difference is that you could do that on the electrical level where all the internet goes out. I know, just like, man, I can't look at my stepmom porn. But like,
no, it'd be nice if the internet went out for a while.
But here's the thing. How insane, not the whole internet for the country, but how insane would it happen if that all the stop we would come to, right? And that's not even one of the violent acts, so to speak. And so I think whenever World War III is brought up, I was like, whatever imagery is going on in my head, whatever imagery is going on in probably your head is not at all what it's going to look like. I don't even think there's going to be a gun that's fired. I think it's going to be all this other insane shit. Or nukes, dude. I mean...
Well, nukes fundamentally change the calculus. Because that's mutually assured destruction.
Right.
So you would have to be forced to fight a war, but both sides have nukes, but both sides are not going to use it until one side has to.
It's a fucking staring
until
contest,
you're marching
dude.
on Beijing or Washington, D.C., you know? I mean, in Israel, they have the Samson option, which says that if Tel Aviv or their major cities are ever toppled, if their regime falls, that automatically they're going to launch nukes at multiple different capital cities around the world.
Christ.
Just an insane fucking system we have built, and... it's hard to say what's going to fucking happen. But you're right. Whatever actually happens is going to be different than how we think about it.
Well, I mean,
and in the process of it happening is going to develop technologies in ways we can't imagine.
Right. And not even just different, unimaginable. Like, you can't even, like, incomprehensible to what we think. It's kind of like the funny way that, like, people always predicted the future. Like, flying cars. And it's just like, what? If you saw it and thought about it, like, why the fuck would we have a flying car? Like, it's like cars, you're like... 2020 or 2045, like Honda Civic, like stalls out, or maybe some tweaker I know stole your like Cadillac converter, and now you fall to your death from the sky.
Hey, guess what? No transportation is going to beat a good old train.
No, you know,
it's just the most practical, most
back to the horses,
reliable.
Baby. Giddy up. But I mean, it's in the same way that we protect the future. Would you ever, when you were in the 1960s, when we had somebody walk on the moon, allegedly, when we had someone to walk on the moon, just explaining that our kids would have a problem with TikTok and that we're worried about China. Oh, what are the Chinese up to? Like the Russians or something. It's like, well, let me explain what TikTok is. And then just to even do that, not even the technological side, but the idea that we would like.
Absolutely.
It's one of those.
And the technology that birthed the smartphone, that birthed TikTok, is being produced in the space race, right?
Right. It's one of those things where a guy makes this point that I think about a lot because it's interesting where. He's like, I'm not even super old. I think he's like 50 or something. And he's like, I grew up in an area, like a more rural area, in the Cold War. But people don't understand, like, how insane the Cold War was, like, existentially, right? And it merged weirdly with religion as far as apocalypse goes and all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, if you were to tell me that that in America, we would willingly be giving our data away and we know our country is spying us, and basically our sentiment about it was just like, I mean, if you're not doing anything, it's all right. He's like, oh no, the Russians won. Evil empire, quote unquote, won, and we're in the Terminator state or fucking whatever. And it's just like, nope, we're all gonna be cool with it. Like, no, we're not. It's like, believe me, we're for the most part all gonna be cool with it. Yeah. And if you're freaking out about it, and if you put tape over like the little camera on your laptop, you're a fucking weirdo. Like,
absolutely, yeah.